Hello and welcome back to Bad Decisions Club presents Fallout, the tabletop role-playing game. I'm so excited for this session. It's going to be great, but before we get started, please note there are several ways you can donate to benefit the American Heart Association. We are working alongside with Fallout for Hope, the charity organization. And if you wish, you can use your donation to help or hinder the players as you see fit. There is a donation button down below. You can type !donate. I believe there's a widget on your screen. There's plenty of ways to donate. We have gotten up to $330 just this month for the American Heart Association. And as a side note, just please remember that every $100 milestone that we get to means another perk for our player characters, which will help them as they are exploring the wasteland. And speaking of the other players, let's go ahead and say hello to everyone. Hi, folks. How's it going?
Hello.
Howdy, not bad.
Just
So
enjoying
we are
a Sunday.
unfortunately currently -1 Essen, who's currently underneath a storm warning, and her internet went out. So there is the possibility she will be back at some point during the game. But for now, we just have to enjoy the incredible artwork that she has for her avatar. Let's go ahead, though, and say hello to everybody else. Why doesn't everybody give me a brief introduction? Who are you, and who are you playing today? We will go ahead and start with Dora, who is apparently getting my subtitles.
Let me turn on the thing again. So yes, hi, I'm Pandora Beatrix. I am playing Dr. Mimsy, the handy nurse robot. And yeah, I'm happy to be here again.
And Chris, who are you? Who are you playing?
Hey, everybody. My name is Chris. I'll be playing Trevor Timms again, the socially awkward repair guy who
Yes,
likes
I love it.
to, who laughed at the person who harassed him when he got shot last session.
And finally, Haley, who are you? Who are you playing today? I don't hear Haley at the moment. Do we have double technical difficulties? These things do happen. But the last time this happened, I found out when I was watching the stream that I believe it was actually Haley was perfectly audible to everybody except for me. That was a fun thing to discover when I was editing later on, because it sounded like I just wasn't listening to her. I'm also not getting Haley at the moment. Okay. Well, we're going to stall a little bit by doing our recap from last session, and we will hopefully reconnect with Haley. If things don't go well on that front, then maybe we'll have to take some other steps. But for right now, let's do a quick recap over what happened in the last session, and I will stop my recap anytime if Haley jumps back in. So it was the 1-year Founders Day celebration of the settlement of Promise that was settled at the end of the first group's session with a terraforming device called a Garden of Eden creation kit, which basically took the sort of blasted landscape of the area and turned it into a lush farm-friendly area. Reasonably fresh water, soil that doesn't have a ton of radiation in it, that sort of thing.
Works, please say it works. Please
I
say
hear
it
someone.
Yay!
I hear you.
Excellent.
It was saying I was audible.
Again, that's the thing. When we last did this, you were only inaudible to me, so I was like, I don't know, is she talking? And I can't hear it.
Why?
Okay.
Technology
Haley,
be technology.
go ahead and introduce yourself and your character, please.
Hi everyone, I'm Haley, also known as Goddess Nerd. I'm playing Celine Cameron, local merc turned guard, currently very concerned of why her boss was a robot.
Yes, and in fact, that leads us perfectly into the rest of our recap because, yeah, you began as you're sort of part of the local militia. The thing about the area that you're camped in, or not camped in, that you settled in, is that while it is a beautiful piece of land, it is surrounded by horrible monsters and also a lot of people that would love to get their hands on that nice fertile land. So when you had this this celebration, you were told by the mayor that there was an outlying farm that had some rumors about it. Like something bad went down out at one of the farms that was owned by a nice old ghoul family. And when you went to visit, you had a few surprises very quickly. The Brahmin were being attacked by insects that, after Trevor took one shot at them, decided to do a song and dance number and then fly away, thanks to
And he
a
didn't get
very
his ammo
generous
back.
donation. And yes, a waste of ammo, that's true. After that, though, you investigated the house and found the murdered body of the female ghoul who used to own the place. And in the barn adjacent to the house, you found the murderer, who is the other ghoul. And he attacked you kind of almost in a frenzy, and he kept ranting about how he didn't know you. And there were some pretty serious injuries, but you managed to survive and drag yourselves back to the settlement. You reported in with the mayor, and then you got some sleep. But the next day, now the funny thing is about the next day is that I have all of these notes on all of these locations that were supposed to eventually direct you to the medic area. And y'all just skipped pages and pages of content and went straight for the medic, which is totally fine. And you discovered from the doctor there that she, A, is also suffering from memory loss like some of the other people are, and B, this is a widespread problem. A lot of people are having a lot of memory loss, and they are often having psychological breakdowns as a result, and either committing homicide or suicide or both. And as you were trying to leave with that information, before that, you also learned that this doctor believes it is probably a malfunction in the cold fusion reactor inside the GEC, which is providing electricity to everybody. There is something going on with that. There's some sort of signal coming out of that seems to be messing with people's memories. And as you were about to head out to deal with that problem, you encountered duplicates of your friends and neighbors, including the mayor, who opened fire on you. And you didn't know they were duplicates at first, but when you fought back, you found that they were essentially robotic in nature. It was a difficult fight. You all survived, and that's where we ended last time. Bar Drop Cafe, you have not missed a thing. We are just doing the recap. Very glad that you're here.
There was also shenanigans with the mysterious stranger.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Why don't
yes.
you go ahead and elucidate on that a little bit, please?
It was everything from the mysterious stranger showing up to him getting multiple complications, and we agreed he lost his hat, to that hat becoming the subject of Essen going for it multiple times, finally getting her hands on it, and it finally being traded for a pack of Grey Tortoise cigarettes.
That's right, Grey Tortoise cigarettes, which don't actually exist in the Commonwealth. So, you now have solid evidence that the mysterious stranger does in fact exist. And to be fair, Nick Valentine is out there somewhere. Yeah, having to improvise like a voice and dialogue for the mysterious stranger is one of the most stressful things I've ever had to do as a GM of any game.
Yeah.
So while we're at it, Chris, is there anything else, or Dora, is there anything else that I missed in my very hasty recap of the last session? Any other little details you wanted to share?
Dr. Mimsy likes to watch people when they sleep. That's
Oh,
about
yeah.
that's about all I got. But everything else is pretty spot on.
To be fair, they weren't just watching.
Extremely attentive
Yes.
long-term medical care.
Like dozens of microsurgeries in one evening. Yeah, in order to take one of the critical wounds and bring it up to fully treated status.
And
Yeah,
now we're
that was a
just
lot of
kind of
fun.
standing here amongst bodies.
Yeah. And I think that's where we are going to go ahead and start today's game. You are right now still weapons hot in hand, looking over the wreckage of these robotic friends and neighbors that attempted to kill you. And I want to know, what is the first thing that each of you does after the initial like adrenaline wears off.
Oh, oh, geez. See, this is why you don't get close to people, because they turn into robots.
I. Trevor, what the hell?
I don't know.
You
This
don't
is
know?
this is strange. I'm gonna start looking over the bodies. Look,
Trevor, I just shot my boss. Wait,
I don't.
the hell?
In all fairness, I don't think that was your boss.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
So Trevor begins to look at the bodies, and
Yeah.
the like the skin and like quote unquote muscle over the skeleton is disturbingly human-like. Like this seems to be some sort of very imperfect fusion of biology and machinery, where the bones are definitely metal and definitely like electronic in nature. And each one is carrying a institute laser rifle as well as a bunch of rounds. So I'm going to go ahead and put that into the party sheet in a minute.
Nice.
But beyond that, no, seriously, they look just like the people they replaced. They have their IDs. They have everything that you would expect to find on the mayor, for example, you find on the mayor. It gives you the idea that perhaps these folks were replaced not just now.
This is so overwhelming. I'm gonna go lay down for a little bit.
How long was this happening?
That's a good question.
uh,
Dr. Mimsy starts up her saw because it's time to do comparative analysis.
Do you still have the brain from
No, you wouldn't let me keep it.
Oh, that's right.
You would let me bring it with you.
Yeah. These aren't human beings, so have at it, Dr. Mimsy.
Yeah, Mimsy, go wild, girl.
Go
I don't
ahead
think
and
there's a
me
significant difference in them being human beings or not from my disassembling them with a saw, but thank you for permission.
go ahead and give me, even when you're doing the right thing, it's still very disturbing. Go ahead and give me a medicine check, please. You're looking for, let's say, well, go ahead and roll the check, and I'll let you spend action points for information afterwards, assuming you succeed. By the way, you
Okay.
have 7 action points available as a team.
We just roll on action
That's-
points
that's not
tonight,
great, but it's
boys.
still one.
Okay, so you got your success. I'm going to give you the chance to spend up to 3 action points for up to 3 pieces of information about this about these bodies.
Okay, well, so the first question is, does the brain look like, I mean, A, brain, but B, similar to, I've forgotten the farmer's name who we did the first
So
brain
this one,
autopsy on.
the brain is, it's mostly inorganic. There's a little bit of actual gray matter like attached to it, but it's mostly like a very large, and now that you think about it, kind of not very viable like mass of electronics that kind of makes the center of this thing's processing brain. And then there is some like organic gray matter kind of like spliced in on it. If you had a soul, it might be very disturbing, but it's
No, it's
clearly like,
fascinating.
as you're looking at this is clearly something fairly rudimentary. Like this is not something that you're super duper impressed with.
What- Now the question comes on what impresses Mimsy?
That said, go ahead and ask your second question if you have one.
Let's see. Well, I guess, is there, like I've been doing like random, medical care of people in the settlement for a while, right? So, are any of the people present people that I had done care on, you know, recently that I might be able to estimate, like, is there in fact a discontinuity in that, like, they're missing injuries or something that they should have or something like
Sure.
that.
Sure. You get the idea that it would be difficult, like just at first glance, to be able to tell one of these, I don't know, synthetic people from a normal person, but I will say that you're pretty sure that a couple of them you saw just like a week ago, and you were relatively certain that what you're seeing now, like one of them broke a bone at some point in the last week. So you feel like the replacement was probably fairly recent, at least of some of them. Who knows that
Okay.
if it was being like, if they were being slowly taken over or if it was one big thing, but you know that at least a couple of them have not been here for more than a week or two.
Okay. Third question. Nothing is leaping to mind. If other people have ideas, you know, feel
Is
free
there
to shout them out.
is there anything on their person that indicates like a manifesto or something like that? Like I'm gonna search their bodies besides just the
The
ammo and
holotape with
thing.
their evil plan.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. This is where I live. This is why I came here. Something like that.
I'm not going to charge you an action point for that because you basically already made your search. You find the IDs of all these folks, and you also find some weapons and some ammo. But no, there's nothing that like specifically says I am evil and this is my diabolical plan.
Okay.
So I'm not
Oh,
going to charge you an action point for that one.
I got one.
Yeah.
In the you know, in the tissues that actually are like actual, you know, living-esque tissues, are there any signs of like particular radiation or environmental like nastiness that's not common to actually here that might indicate where they might have been before here?
So, interestingly enough, as you're looking through this, what you find is flesh that actually does not seem to be overly harmed by the ambient radiation of the wasteland in the first place. So while you don't get anything about like where they might have come from, you do feel like these things, these life forms or whatever they are probably immune to the effects of or to the negative effects of radiation. So I'll give you that much. And as you're making your examination, you kind of begin to hear like a dull roar outside as more and more people begin to gather around the medical complex, right? Like initially this was not it was kind of early in the morning, a lot of people are hungover, but as the firefight broke out and as people like left to tell other people what had happened, a crowd is beginning to gather out in front of the medical facility, and they definitely look very scared and very worried, and there's a lot of like talking to each other in hushed tones and a lot of tears, especially from say the family members of the folks who have been killed.
But
What do you
nobody's
all
like
do?
overtly angry or has like torches, right?
No, we're not seeing torches or pitchforks yet.
Okay.
No.
Okay, that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
But
I
you
got two
do notice like a lot of people beginning to look at each other kind of suspiciously.
So I have two things. One, just to let everyone know, like Ms. Mimsy was, you know, like CSI style narrating as she did all this examination. So you can assume that you got all the answers to those questions.
Okay.
Second thing, did the doctor like come out at any point during that kerfuffle, or because she was back in her office when we like came out here, right?
Yeah, she was sobbing pretty hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
She did not come out. No.
Okay.
And you will find that the door into her little enclave is currently locked.
Oh well, that's good. Good for her.
Probably smart, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can't blame her.
Yeah. So I'll just, I guess, turn to the crowd and say, you seem to be experiencing mental distress. Would you like to talk about it?
And seeing all the people start to gather around, Trevor begins to look even more uncomfortable with all these people around, and he shrinks behind Celine and Dr. Mimsy.
Yeah, at this point, Celine's just gonna put her hands up. She's gonna be. She's like, okay, listen, folks. Yes, there was gunfire. It's looking like none of the people that you actually thought were your friends and family were your friends and family.
Audible gasp from the whole crowd.
I'm sorry. This is awful. I know. We're dealing with it. Just everyone, please stay away from the doctor's office unless you actually have something like desperate right now. She's just gonna turn back to the two of them. Okay, we have like limited time here. We gotta figure this crap out now.
Okay, so here's what I need. We are going to make a charisma plus speech. And I learned that I've actually been doing the assistance rules wrong this entire time.
What?
So let's start with Dora. I would like you to make a charisma plus speech, and any successes that you get will add to Haley's successes, assuming that she gets at least one.
So it's charisma and speech.
Now,
right?
again, just as a reminder, because it's been a while since we've played, you do have some action points to spend. You can spend 1 action point to get 1 extra d20. You can spend 3 action points to get 2 extra d20s. So that is a possibility for you. This is going to be a fairly high difficulty compared to what you've seen up to this point, because these folks are very scared.
All right. Yeah.
Well,
so let's start.
I'll take
let's start
one
with
then,
Mimsy.
because my speech and charisma is not fantastic, as you might imagine.
Mine's is
No, really?
What? No.
I mean, it's not terrible, but which is I presume why she hasn't been like
there's a comforting
yet. But
there's a comforting presence in her voice, but nobody can put her finger on it.
okay, Fantasy Grounds may have like frozen.
Oh,
I'm not sure what's happening. Did it
does...
say the thing about me spending an action point?
No. Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Heck yeah.
Oh,
okay.
fine.
So you get 3 successes. This does not generate action points because those 3 successes, assuming, and this is important, that Celine gets at least 1 success, those 3 successes will be added. So Celine, you don't want to mess this one up.
So yeah, okay. Oh great. Yeah, I'm fine. It's fine. It's okay. Hold on. Let me roll the speech. All right.
Pressure. No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, everybody. Ooh.
Heck yeah.
Ooh,
okay.
yeah.
So that's a crit for 2 successes. So that's a total of 5 successes on the 4 success challenge. So not only do you succeed, you also grab an extra action point. And by the way, speaking of action points, you lovely folks watching at home can generate action points either for the player characters or for myself by donating in the donate section.
Please,
so you do absolutely manage to at least pacify the crowd. Like, they're still scared and they're milling around, but you feel like they at least have the feeling like someone is handling it, right? They're willing to suspend their freak out for long enough for you all to do what you all need to do. But like, we're still looking at a powder keg here.
We've been temporarily moved from the possibly murderers to possibly in charge column. They're just letting things play out and see how that goes.
There's a gray thin line between those two things.
Congratulations, we're on the right side.
I mean, in the wasteland, those things are often correlated. Do a bunch of murder, suddenly you're in charge.
You're not wrong. You're very much not wrong.
That's just kind of the philosophy here, isn't it?
So Celine and Dr. Mimsy, what do we do?
So, okay, now listen. I'm gonna be honest. Mentally, I'm panicking. I don't know how the hell I'm dealing with this subconsciously. Like, don't know how I did that. Completely honest with you. However, I'm gonna say this. I think we gotta look at that Gek part, because considering the fact that they just showed up, I think we might be on the right track of something. I could be completely wrong. Science isn't exactly my foray, but I'm going to make an educated guess based on the fact that we almost died.
Hearing
you
Celine
think that
say
the robot non-people may have damaged the cold fusion reactor on purpose?
Yeah, it's kind of
possible. I mean, but in hearing them talk about the possibility of looking at science and repairing something, Trevor gets a little bit more of his riz back, as the young folks say. Yeah, if let's go take a look at that. Because I can fix it.
Also, does anyone know why they were talking about snakes?
They talked about snakes. I
They
was
were.
too busy enjoying
I,
shooting people. I'm
I mean,
sorry.
I don't think a plane passed by, but you know.
Yes, when they first revealed that they were about to shoot you, they said, "Come on, snakes, let's rattle," or something like that. It was right out of the
Yes.
module. I have no idea what it meant, so don't ask me.
It was real weird. Weird enough to register with Dr. Mimsy, so.
Charisma, yes.
I know that. I was just messing around. Being 40 and using young people's phrases makes me laugh
Man,
and
these
feel
young
good
kids.
about myself.
So, yeah, it sounds like you all are headed to the center of town. And we didn't get a chance to really flesh out what this town looks like because, we kind of went from action sequence to action sequence. So this is a nice sort of homey little place. There's an inn called the Promised Land Inn that is run by a nice handy robot. And I'm curious as to okay, so what's this place look like? And I would love some help in describing it, which I would have gotten in those other scenes. So there's a trading place, and there's the inn, and then there's the medical place. Is this are we talking like idyllic little country place? Are we talking like a more industrialized kind of area? What does this town square look like? I know I'm putting a lot of you on the spot, which is why I keep saying words.
I mean,
mean-
I feel like based on the descriptions, because it's really the whole thing was set up as a this is a place to be the kernel of something bigger. Like it's mostly about farming and just supplies to help the people maybe increase the population a little faster kind of thing. So it probably feels like more of a more of a, well, not Norman Rockwell, it's the Wasteland, that kind of thing, as opposed to busy 20s machinery kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking what's it? Some of the songs from Fallout 4 Radio, which I'm not going to sing, but a lot of them like way back home kind of thing.
Yeah.
I see it also as like a horseshoe-shaped town with the back of the town and the town center being against the water line there for better defense. So if anything comes from the water, it can be easily defended.
Sounds good. And yeah, as you're going through, the general vibe in the settlement is very tense, right? People are beginning to go back to their business, but everyone is kind of looking over their shoulder. Everyone is kind of side-eyeing everyone else. No one knows at this point who may or may not be a duplicate, and especially those folks who have been suffering from memory issues are going to begin to be seen, with suspicion pretty quickly.
As we're walking towards wherever we're going, I'm gonna kind of reach down and touch and try. I necessarily wouldn't do it stealthily, but I'm gonna reach down and like pinch one of the synths and see if it bleeds.
It does, in fact, have blood, but not as much of it as you would expect. It seems like more of a cosmetic thing than something actually keeping it alive.
So these things actually bleed.
They do bleed.
Well, if it can bleed, it can die. Okay.
So the center of town where the Gek sits, and I'm again going to throw to the players a little bit here. Is the Gek just like out in the open, like a camp in Fallout 76, or is it inside a room? Like, how is it being guarded from the elements?
I mean,
since it's been about
what
a
is
year.
the actual size and shape of it?
It's just a briefcase.
it's just the briefcase.
Okay. So
Because I mean, if we're especially considering like if we look at how the vaults treated it, I'd see it as more protected than anything. Considering the thing, especially where it's basically a briefcase with a computer inside, it doesn't have the best defense on its own. So I would totally see people just kind of more or less just doing anything to defend it.
And this settlement was born out of a conflict over that object, over that item. Yeah, so that makes sense. So I imagine it's in like a secure facility that not everybody has access to. And we'll
Mhm.
say that one of the members of the militia is standing out front of the door, sort of keeping guard as you approach.
Celine's just gonna be like, okay, let me handle this. I work in the same unit as these guys. Like, at this point, I hope I have enough, reassurance of where I'm not the problem here. And she's just gonna turn to them. She's gonna be like, hey, you mind if we take a look at that Gek?
Why?
Just, so, oh, did you not hear about the, clinic situation?
The clinic situation. I've been standing here doing my job for the whole time.
And I was out doing my job, so this is two people doing our jobs here. But, so, pretty much, we have reason to believe the Gek has been tampered.
All right.
it may be causing brain damage to people who are near it.
Yeah.
And is the mayor okay with you coming in?
The mayor
Yes, he
actually
said no.
gave us.
Hold on. The mayor is great with it.
Oh, that sounds so much like a charisma plus speech to me. If someone else would like to assist, you are welcome to do so.
Okay, let's have some fun.
Let's
with
have some fun. So let's
I'm gonna-
start with Trevor. Go ahead and roll me a charisma plus speech.
I am going to use an action point to
Ooh.
Okay.
add a d20 because
The adding of the d20. Ooh.
Ooh.
One-
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay,
Oops.
let me roll this.
So you succeed, but there's also a complication.
I don't know what that 34 thing is, but that's
Okay,
weird.
let me roll this. Oh. Okay, it's not
So I'm going
bad.
to remind you both at this time that
I'm
you can
gonna
spend
use
a luck
point
point
to roll. I'm gonna re-roll that.
to re-roll one of your d20s.
Yeah, I'm just gonna re-roll this casually. Don't mind me. Okay, that's a lot better. I will take
That's
that.
a lot better.
I will take that in an instant.
That's also a lot better. So that will be 3 successes. The difficulty was 2, so I will go ahead and give the players an action point as well.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, so he's gonna nod and, well, I mean, if he said you can go in, and he'll step aside.
See, what I tell you guys? I'm great at this. Shaking in the middle.
Are you saying that like in front of the guard?
No, she's just saying this like offhandedly. she's putting her hand up and just like keeping it away from him. She's
Kind
like,
of
"I'm
stage
great at
whispering.
this."
Okay.
Mm.
So the guard puts in the code and the door swings open and you're able to go in. This is a very simple room. It doesn't really have much in it other than the Gek and the wires coming out of the Gek, because it is essentially a fusion reactor, just very, very small, and is being used to provide electricity to everything. And if you've ever tried building a settlement in Fallout 4 and wiring it, you know that there are wires everywhere, right? There's not a whole lot of cable maintenance happening here. So they all kind of go out and up the walls and out the ceiling where the wires are distributed to various buildings in the settlement. So you approach, and the Gek itself is not super impressive looking. Like, there used to be a little mixture of chemicals in one half of the briefcase that's gone now, and the other half of the briefcase is this cold fusion reactor. And it's humming along. What do you do?
I'm gonna inspect it to see if there's any obvious signs that it has been tampered with.
Do you have any sort of tools or anything that would aid you in this, or is this just you taking a look at it?
I don't. I mean, I am the repair guy for the town, so I imagine I have a toolbox. I
Sure.
did not specifically say I brought it with me, but
That's fine. I'm not
Okay.
gonna be that guy.
okay. But
Beat
no,
that
yeah, I am.
DM.
So he's gonna start sort of poking at this. What are the other two doing as Trevor is beginning his inspection of the Gek?
Well, uh, hmm.
If
I
anything.
guess, we can check to see if there's any like I guess sign that people have been in here recently, because presumably there wouldn't be
Yeah,
a
that
lot of
would-
reason for
that
anyone
would
to
probably
come in
be
here
the
under normal
smartest.
circumstances.
Okay. So why don't I go ahead and have the two of you make a perception plus survival. One of you will be the assist and one of you will be the main, so you should probably figure that out.
Survival's an automatic 5 for me. Do you want me to be the main?
Yeah, my total is 9. My perception is fantastic, and my survival is 1. So you have a better chance of crits.
Yeah, let me do it. Hold on. Oh.
Oh,
Oh, but the complication, but
A crit and a complication. You do have luck points,
Oh, but
but do you want to use them so fast?
yeah,
question.
Damn you, number-based system.
I'll try not to
I'm-
make any predictions
mean,
about your success or lack thereof going
what could-
forward.
Oh yes, please, no more comments about the 20s.
I'm, you know, what, I'm gonna let the complication stay. You know,
Okay.
Okay.
And then
I will
go
take
ahead.
the hit.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow. Wow.
No, you
So-
see, I did that because I mentioned it.
So that's another complication, and me saying that I wasn't gonna make a prediction does not count as me making a prediction. So that's two
you know-
complications.
You know, it was related.
I'm gonna say that first off, I'm taking a couple of action points here, and also that like literally so because this ground is like swept clean a lot.
oh no.
The thrusters of the handy robot as you came in, anything that might have been in the dust on the ground just whoosh blows right out, and you have no idea. As far as you can tell, this place was just cleaned. You have not a clue.
Would that complication for me be just Celine slipping on this floor?
I'm
and
also fine with that. Like you're looking down, you're trying really hard to see a mark you think you see on the ground, and then you slip and face plant. Absolutely.
her boot just makes a loud squeak.
I'm gonna say that this is going to increase the difficulty of Trevor's test by 1 because he is suddenly distracted
'Cause-
by the
Yes, we're having a Keystone Cops moment in the background.
So Trevor is going to want to go ahead and make an intelligence plus science. You have 4
Okay.
action points. This would be a good place to spend because you've got some complications
I'm
hindering
gonna
you.
add a D20.
You got it.
Smart move. Celine just face planted on the floor. Ow!
That is 1 success, and that is exactly what you wanted. It was going to be a difficulty 0, but the complication made it difficulty 1, so you were able to at least kind of see what's going on. I am going to invite you once again, just like with the bodies, you can spend 1 to 3 action points to ask me questions or get some information.
See, now I'm questioning whether or not he wants us to spend all the action points.
What was the? How many? Wait, say that again for me. I'm sorry.
You can spend 1 to 3 action points, one at a time, either getting questions or like getting random bits of information.
Can I spend them as I go? Like, do I
Yes.
have to say I'm going to use? Okay.
No, you can
So-
spend them as you go.
For one, I'm going to ask, does it look like anyone has tampered with this? That is my number one wondering.
Okay, I'm going to drop 1 action point. And I'm going to say that no, it looks like this has been untouched for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
It does not seem like anyone has tampered with it, no.
Second question. Am I able to tell who the last person who logged into it was, or who accessed it? Does it work? Does it work that way?
I am going to say that you're trying to dig into that, and you're sort of trying to figure out, like, there's not a whole lot of interface on this thing. It's really just a power generator.
Mhm.
But as you're trying to figure out who was the last person, you find a signal transmitter that is like attached to the fusion core. Like, you're like, wait, this thing does not belong on this fusion core. And with your tools, you're able to actually detect the frequency that is going out. And not only that, but I'm going to say that you're able to pinpoint the location of where the message is going to be somewhere vaguely northwest of you.
I don't think the
So
word
it's
pinpoint means
transmitting
the same thing to you as it
information.
does to us.
Yeah. So folks, we have something weird here.
And otherwise, the cold fusion reactor is working perfectly. I'll give you that for
Okay.
free. It's working
Okay.
absolutely perfectly.
So there's something weird here. See this thing here? This isn't supposed to be here. I can kind of fiddle with it, and it kind of gives us a direction in which to go. Can I ascertain what sort of information it's sending out?
I'm gonna say no, but there's a lot of it.
Okay.
Like, whatever it is, whatever it's offloading, like, there's some serious bandwidth happening here.
There's a lot of information being sent. This is crazy. This
Yeah.
I think this is I hate to use the word responsibility, but this may be our responsibility to fix this.
Celine just picks herself off the floor. At this
Oh
point.
yeah, you fell. I guess I could have helped you up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. You know what? I may have broken my nose. I don't know. I don't think it matters at this point. But yeah, I think we might have to track this down.
You see Dr. Mimsey's hand go up with a saw. I can fix it.
I like that I don't even have to say anything anymore.
Like, are you injured?
It stands to reason that if someone made a complicated device that had never been used, they would want to know how well it was going. So maybe it is sending information back to the people who made it.
Yeah, and I'm a little hesitant to ask that guard out there whether or not he's seen anyone come in or out.
And Mare was one of the people that was a synth, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they were the main synth.
Yeah, so I have to wonder if, because like now I'm kind of concerned if these people are on, security and nobody's asking questions, how far does this go? Is there more of those things lurking around? Like, I gotta,
And is there a way to test people, Dr. Mimsey? Is there something you can do?
Yes, if I cut open their heads and find circuitry inside.
Well, we
that
can
means that they are a
use that
non-person.
as a fail safe, as a backup plan. But I don't. I think that maybe that should be a last resort.
Yeah.
But
I could remove a bunch of blood and then measure the blood, and if it's not enough blood, that would also be indicative.
But we as non-synthetics, as organics, we kind of need our blood.
Yeah, Mimsy, listen, I appreciate the dedication to the craft here. I do. I really do.
Oh.
But at the same time, I like my blood being in my body. I'm not gonna lie with you.
You're concerned about people who are people.
I'm concerned about
succumbing to the test.
Yeah, humans, Mimsy. In this case,
humans.
In this case, humans that have seemingly gone robotic? I don't know what to call this.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this. This is, even though it looks as Dr. Menzies said, a little rudimentary. This is above anything I've ever seen.
Their bones are metallic. We could find a very large magnet.
Oh,
I
that's a
don't.
good idea. I think I have one in my workshop. Let me go see if I
I
can.
don't.
I can
I
Just
wrestle
don't
it
point
out.
it at me.
I don't think that's gonna be strong enough. Let's be honest here.
Hey, you never know until you try, though. So I'm
I-
gonna run to my shop and get a magnet.
Trevor, what? Oh God.
He's gone.
So I'm gonna say, because I believe synths are primarily made out of aluminum, that it is non-ferrous, and thus a a magnet probably won't reveal it. A sufficiently
yes.
powerful EMP might be able to scramble the circuitry, maybe. Now, how powerful you're not sure about. Like, it could end up knocking out power or something like that. But you
Also
think
me.
that a particularly powerful EMP might be able to reveal somebody by scrambling their circuitry.
So I come back with my magnet and I try and put it to a synth, and nothing happens. That's when I've learned that
Nope.
it's not really working.
Right.
I wonder if I can. So I have this idea. Maybe I can make this sort of machine that puts out this signal that just shuts down anything electronic. And I look at Dr. Mimsy. Oh, I guess that won't work really either.
Yeah, no.
And an entire settlement that runs on electricity.
Yeah,
So,
no, Trevor, that's an awful idea. What? No.
Hey, I didn't say it was a good idea. I just said it was an idea.
Trevor, I'm hoping that you're at least you know, at least thinking about the idea before you even attempt it.
At what point
should
in
make
these
it so
last
that it
days
points in only
did you
one
think I did
direction.
that? I just like the ideas, man.
That's reassuring.
Hey, I'm an idea man. That's all I do. I got ideas.
Trevor, I feel like you should have gone into art more than actual robotics.
Hey, I can do both.
I mean, more power to you.
Yeah. So look, going back to the GEC, there's nothing to fix, correct? So it
Yeah,
doesn't.
no, the GEC definitely is more or less entirely fine. Like, it's working the way it's intended to work, but there's this extra piece that's transmitting information out to the northwest.
Can I tell how long that piece has been there?
It seems like it was installed sometime within the last, say, year or two. And
how long has this we just had
Well,
our founders day, so
Yeah, it was 1 year. So certainly within 1 year.
yeah.
Well, I mean, would it have had to have been running in order to install it, or could it have been jammed in the briefcase earlier?
It could have been jammed in the briefcase earlier.
Do we know? And we have no idea where they got this GEC from.
No, there's a legend that the founders of the city, some of whom still exist here, fought their way through hordes of raiders and Mirelurks and took down a mighty Mirelurk queen in order to find the GEC buried deep within the bowels of Diamond City. But like, it's all at this point, it's only been a year, but it's all very like fantastical.
Yeah, it's become legendaryized. It's become grandiized.
Yeah.
Whatever that word is I'm trying to use. Words are hard.
Aggrandized.
And thank you. I was like, I'm gonna get there somewhere.
Mimsy, once Trevor like points out that there's this signal coming from it, you're actually able to attune your own internal radio sensors to it. So you know how in Fallout there's that thing where like if you get close to something and there's a signal, like you can sort of home in on it. You feel like if you get close to the to the place where this signal is coming from, you could probably home in on it, but right now it's just a vague sort of northwestern impulse.
Gotcha.
So what are we up to?
So is this something we're gonna do?
You know, I don't have anything else going on today, so I think it's a very good idea. Also,
Yes.
Go ahead.
my boss is also dead, so I should maybe dead. I don't know. This is very concerning.
It's
Maybe
possible
we
that
can
he's
also
only been
find-
kidnapped.
Yeah, that's where I
Yeah,
was
I
going too.
mean,
It's also
And-
possible that they used a bunch of his flesh to make the duplicate.
son of a Mimsy.
Huh. But how would they preserve? Oh, sorry. I was getting into the science of it all.
She's just distressed at this point. She's like, "What in the?"
Sorry.
But if the reactor wasn't tampered with, then whatever's happening may just be a factor of how it was designed in the first place. So we should definitely try to find out more about it.
So are we
The
guinea
signal does
pigs?
seem-
Are they just doing this to? I guess maybe are these things trying to infiltrate society? What is going on?
What are
Anything
these
with
things?
vault tech technology?
Yeah.
Never.
Mimsy comes up to Trevor to do a very close, thorough scan, just to make sure that Trevor is not, in fact, a guinea pig.
Like
Since
the
he raised the
the
problem,
Oculus eyeball gets like within
Yeah,
an
just-
inch of your face. Like, no guinea pig DNA detected.
Can I help you with something, Dr. Mimsy? Or you just want to get close? You
You
know I don't
appear
like
to
when
be
people are
human.
close. Oh, I would hope so. I don't
At
know how to
least
be anything
you are not a
else.
guinea pig. I can remove all your blood if you'd like.
See, that's what we call a figure of speech. It's not necessary. Never mind.
She's not gonna get it automatically.
No.
You gotta realize this.
So, do we go now? It's early in the morning. Do we go now, or
Rise into the street.
we might as well better now than
Yeah.
never? I guess.
I mean, because we don't really want to be rushing into. Because if we went later, we'd have the problem of nightfall, and
Yeah.
I don't think that would help us. Especially if one of these things is pretending to be one of us. I don't think that's exactly gonna help us at all. So it might
Also,
be.
the longer we wait, the more people will have psychotic episodes and kill people.
Yeah.
So it may be advantageous for us to go now, especially since the doctor did not look too well.
Yeah. She
As she said, she looked in emotional distress.
she did. Poor thing was sobbing.
How do I move things real quick from the party thing to my inventory? Do I just
You can
subtract and then add?
You can do that, or you can just grab the little lightning bolt that's next to
Oh.
it and drag it to your thing. And
Does
speaking
anybody
of the
mind-
party inventory, I will say that if you all are preparing on making an exit and trying to solve this, the innkeeper, a wonderful handy robot whose name is, I'm pretty sure it's Nancy, it might have been Sally. I mixed them up the entire time, but one of them stayed and ran the inn. And this handy is able to provide you with some supplies on the way out. And I promise on the YouTube, I will flash right now across the screen which handy robot it really was. I'm so embarrassed that I keep mixing up their names. It's their own fault for calling themselves Nancy and Sally. Like, it's so close.
The magic of editing.
So
We'll fix it in post.
You do get mostly some vegetables and some grilled meat, and of course the weapons that you got off of the dead synthetics. So if you want to open the party sheet, which
You really
is
only-
the little like multiple people icon in Fantasy Grounds, you can begin to sort of move stuff into your you don't have to so you don't have to hit every single fusion cell one at a time. Chris. You can go ahead and subtract and add. I trust you.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking down and seeing one fusion cell, one fusion cell, one fusion cell. You found some laser rifles, and of course you're going to get sent out with a package of food and water, and that's going to be necessary because this is going to be a bit of a long journey.
Let me go into the.
Well, it's not
correct
necessary
thing.
for everyone, but sure.
No, not for everyone. That's true.
It's nice if they don't get thin and waste away.
So I see some stim packs going out. I
Yep.
see some water going out.
I can use some of those fusion cells.
Okay, you can take the
I
rest.
mean, knock yourself out, but don't really.
I'm not sure that's possible.
You never know.
Mimsy. Mimsy.
So while you are as players divvying up loot, I'm gonna say you have two major choices when it
Okay,
comes
Squish.
to getting
Let
to where
me.
you're going. So your settlement is at the bottom of a lake, or not the bottom, but at the southern edge of a lake. Yeah. And a little bit
Let
to the
me. Yeah.
east, a couple of miles, there is a large road, like a former highway, that goes north-south. And that intersects with another large former highway that goes east-west, probably going where you want to go. So you can either go out to the east, the opposite direction of where you're theoretically supposed to go, get to the road and go up that way, or you can kind of follow along the bank of the lake, because the lake also terminates at the crossroad that's going the direction you want. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, on the YouTube VOD, I will make sure to put the map up right here.
Can
So
you throw
you
that
can
map
either
up
go
again?
up, you can go a little bit out of your way and go up the freeway, or you can kind of navigate the shore of the lake until it reaches the road that you want to get to.
I would recommend being as inconspicuous as possible, and maybe stay off the road.
Yeah, we're riding a fine line already with people we should be trusting, being suspicious of us already. Let's try not to make ourselves, more suspicious.
Sounds good to me. So you all begin to make your way up, and the lower part of the lake is well known to you. It's part of your settlement, and the water is more or less continuously refreshed. It's not fully unirradiated, but it's at least fairly healthy thanks to the Gek. And in fact, as you reach the sort of northern edge of the settlement, you see an area that used to be a nuclear disposal site that has been cleaned up thanks to the actions of the Gek. And to get from the settlement up to the road you're looking for is going to be a solid like 4 or 5 hour walk, depending on how sneaky you're being. I'm going to go ahead and roll a random encounter really quick to see what happens as
Yay!
you roll up.
It's just a mysterious stranger again.
Ooh, fancy.
So
Ooh.
you find as you roll up, you stop for a moment because someone somewhere, like as Trevor is about to step on a landmine, we'll say that Mimsy's able to stop him and like back it up. Like there's a mine down there. So you almost like one more step and you would have been dead.
Are you going to step on that on purpose?
Step on? Oh no!
Oh.
Thank you, Dr. Mimsy. I almost made an explosive in there. Thank you.
You think that
If
maybe
you
like
don't like your leg, let me know.
No, I'm pretty fond of them. Thank you.
now that you're thinking about it, this is known to be a fairly Mirelurk or heavy area. Maybe this is intended to be a trap for them, or maybe it's intended to be a trap for a trader or something like that. But you don't see anything else around.
Okay.
Do we see a way to get through it, or do we have to go around?
I am going to say a perception plus survival. I'm going to go ahead and have everybody roll a perception plus survival. That said, hold on, back up. For Dr. Mimsy, this is a difficulty of 0 because you just get to float right on over. Right? So Mimsy, you go first because all of your successes will be action points.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that was you. Okay.
Oh, I accidentally rolled.
Mimsy, go ahead and roll.
Oh, still not great.
Okay.
Yes.
And then finally, Trevor, go ahead and roll. This might suck.
God. Oh, what?
One success. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say.
Oh, God.
I'm going to say that you are able to navigate the minefield. However, I'm not going to give you the opportunity to do anything like disarm them. Yeah, with only one success, like you barely managed to get through. And now there's this minefield that you know exists on the shore of this lake. and you'll have to deal with that some potential future time. Like, there are settlers that come out here for fishing and stuff. So this is a very dangerous area. You're not able to make it less dangerous, but you are able to navigate it successfully. If you had all gotten no successes on that, we might have ended the stream early. Who knows?
So that was supposed to be perception survival, though, right?
Yes.
Because I think it defaulted to endurance, which means that mine...
It does. So you have to actually click the perception button.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my mistake.
Before you roll survival.
So
let's go ahead and try this one more time.
Oh.
Well, it should have been 9 for me, which means that the 8 should be a success.
Okay. That also works for me. So with one extra success, I'm just going to go ahead and give you an action point and say that it works out as we already said.
How do you change it?
You just gotta click on the actual thing.
Yeah.
Click on the ability first, and then drag the skill.
We're working with Fantasy Grounds Unity. On your character sheet, there's the special attributes. You can click the button of the perception, and then roll survival. It'll roll perception plus survival.
Let's roll that.
We're all still learning.
While we're messing with...
Wow, look at that.
Well, okay, that's great.
Okay, so with that, now that we've actually got everything rolled the right way and it's all good. Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna say with that many successes, you're able to kind of suss out where all of the mines are, and you will be able to go ahead and disarm them and either leave them or take them with you.
It may be a good idea not to leave the town completely unawares in this direction. So my suggestion would be to disarm them and then rearm them as they walk past them.
I mean, we equally could, take some of them, and because listen, I know this is a popular fishing spot, and I also know the mirelurks like to come up here sometimes. Yeah. So we also got to keep that in consideration, because I don't want to. If we somehow make this out of this alive, I don't want to.
As you're talking about mirelurks, you actually hear in the distance like that skitter, 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 skitter. You hear that.
Speak of the crabby devil.
So let's just get out of here then. Let's just get out of here. Let's just go. And I start boot scooting.
You begin to make your way away from the minefield and away from the mirelurk sounds. And as you're sort of creeping away, in front of you, sort of stepping out from behind some trees and some rocks, are, well, some fairly dirty humans that are dressed in, looks like they probably made their armor out of rebar. And they look at you, and there's, let's see, how many of them are there?
Oh no.
There's 4 of them, and they're standing in front of you. And the one leading goes, I see you evaded our trap, but you're not gonna get away. No, not until you give us everything you own. No, you're not getting away. No, you're not.
As soon as he says, I see you evaded our trap, and he's obviously freaking out, Trevor's gonna shoot him in the face.
Excellent. Roll that attack, but wait, hold on. Let me put the encounter on the thing first. So they come out in fairly close range to you. Like, they've been watching you. You missed their minefield. You come out. They step out from behind trees and rocks and stuff.
Wait, how?
Everyone is currently in close range with each other.
Oh.
There are 3 raiders and a raider psycho, which is the one that said the thing.
That is the one I'm going to shoot at.
Excellent. As you're shooting at him, he has like a needle in his hand that he's about to jab into his neck. Let's see what happens.
I know. Oh.
Okay. So you managed to hit with 1 success or with 2 successes, so that'll be an action point for you. Tell me what's going on. You're rolling your damage. You can spend extra ammo up to your fire rate in order to get extra damage. And also, I believe the Institute laser has the...
I'm just using my laser gun. I'm not.
Oh, okay,
cool. I hit better with the laser gun for some reason.
Got it.
So I'm going to use an extra ammo though.
So roll that damage.
Speaking of ammo, the party sheet, either I don't know how or I don't have permissions to edit the quantity on the fusion cells.
How many did you take?
I took 7. Thank you.
Done.
Ooh, here we go. Oh,
Wow. So you hit him in the left leg,
Mm-hmm.
and as you do, he jams a dose of psycho into his system. And now we're going to go ahead and start initiative. So we're actually back to Trevor because you have the highest initiative. What are you up to?
yay.
And by the way, once again, folks who are watching, you've got lots of options when it comes to helping or hindering our player characters in combat. You can give either them or me action points, which I will absolutely use. And also, you have the ability to either summon the mysterious stranger on behalf of the player characters, or you can summon more enemies on behalf of me. Up to you. Go ahead and give it a shot if you want. Trevor, what do you do on your turn?
I'm going to shoot him again.
Sounds good to me.
Pew pew.
One success.
You do manage to hit.
Gonna use another ammo again to try and take this sumbitch down.
Ooh. Oh.
Better.
Okay, that's looking a lot better. Again to the left leg, so at least your aim is consistent. You deal a total of 5 points of damage. Although, again, it seems like his armor partially deflects a little bit of it, but he definitely begins limping a little bit as he begins to sprint toward you. Dr. Mimsy, it's your turn. Thanks for being
Well, I
here,
guess-
Dweller and his dog. Much appreciate you.
Trevor has decided that this person should be shot. So I'll just do that then, because sure, Trevor has good ideas.
He's the idea man.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
So far, they've all been fine. So is this? Oh yeah, it's labeled. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, that's 2 successes, so you do get an action point as well.
And we're in close combat. We're in close.
You're in close range. Yeah, they came
Okay.
out sort of right in front of you.
I will. I mean, he looks like. Yeah.
He definitely got hit. He doesn't look like he's
Yeah, I'm
felt
gonna-
it too much, but maybe that's the psycho talking.
I'm gonna use two ammo in addition to my laser commander, so
Okay.
I've got 7, and then drop it on him and not in the box.
Yes.
I'm remembering now.
Ooh.
Hell
Ooh.
yes.
Oh,
So
well.
you
Woo,
shoot
woo!
him right in center mass, and he begins like heavily bleeding internally. He's not dead, but like you definitely do like shoot him right through the center of the chest and out the back.
Mimsy, holy hell.
Sadly,
I-
Poppy is not with us currently. So I'm
I'll,
gonna
I'll
rem-
turn to Trevor and say, "Are we shooting the other ones too?"
So the
Emphatically nods
psycho,
his head.
the one who said better leave all your stuff or we're gonna kill you, like he screams at you and flecks of blood begin to fly from his face as he runs forward, and he pulls a machete that has been serrated and is going to attack Trevor.
course.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna spend some goddamn action points
You got a
This guy-
ton.
because I've got a bunch to work with.
Which is dangerous and also scary. Ooh.
I will get one success off of my 4 dice.
Good.
It's
Good thing you
fine.
spent those.
It's all fine. I am
Yes.
going to spend 3 action points on damage.
Oh god. No. Oh!
Wow.
So
That's-
Trevor is
that's
going
rough.
to stab you right through the gut. Like straight up, he runs forward. He's almost dead. He is 1 foot in the grave, but he pulls you close to him and looks you in the eyes as he shoves his machete through your stomach and out your back. And he kind of, at least we die together.
Yeah. This is why I don't do people.
Raider 1 takes a point of damage. Wait.
Ooh.
Oh no. The Raider, okay, as he says that, the wound from his chest kills him.
Oh.
So he comes up to you because that was a crit to his chest by, I think it was Mimsy. So he stabs you through the stomach. He looks at you in the eye. He says, "At least we die together," and then he collapses onto the ground. Raider 1 is going to go ahead and shoot a pipe gun. It looks like his boss has got Trevor no problem. So we're going to do evens odds. Evens will be Mimsy, odds will be Celine.
Oh.
Raiders are so optimistic.
Oh.
So we'll go ahead and attack Celine with a pipe gun. I don't have a whole lot of action points left unless some very generous viewer decides to mess with the players by giving me more
It's
action
for
points.
charity, but it's so
It's for
awful.
charity.
It's so awful.
He will get a
Uh-oh.
success, but also a complication. So he does
Hell
hit.
yeah.
I will go ahead and deal the damage. So he will deal 1 point of damage. His shot will hit you, sort of kind of grazing off the center or grazing your side. And but when he tries to like rack the gun to get the next bullet in, it doesn't work. And like he's gonna have to either take a full action to fix his gun or drop it, but that's gonna be his next thing. Raider 2, again, even for Mimsy, odd for Celine. We're gonna attack Mimsy.
Ooh.
And will not hit. Last one is odd. So we're going to attack Celine.
Oh.
And does hit. I'm going to spend 1 ammo
Oh.
to get a little bit more damage on this.
A little more oomph on it.
Oh,
Excellent.
okay.
Not enough to be a complication, not enough to be a severe injury, but another shot to your torso that this one like really bites. This one is not a grazing blow. This is a pretty solid impact. It is Celine's turn.
Okay, now at this point, Celine has been grazed by a bullet and hit. She goes. She looks at Raider 1 and she's like, "What the hell was that? What the hell was that? You call yourself a Raider?" She's
Wow.
God, I'm embarrassed for you guys right now. She's just gonna
Words hurt, you know.
Good. That was awful. She's gonna take out her own machete now.
Mm.
Oh. Oh,
That does not look like a hit.
damn it. Yeah, it's not gonna hit.
You do have some
Ah.
action points you can spend to get another attack if you want. You can
Or-
spend a luck
or
to
luck.
re-roll. Yeah.
You know, yeah, let's re-roll. Wait,
We'll start with a luck to re-roll.
Yep, let's do the re-roll. Hold on.
You're aiming for 8 or less. Hey, that's an 8. It does hit. I have to stop just
It's the
saying
prob-
things.
Yes, the problem is when Rob says a number,
That number
that's what
shows up.
happens.
So go ahead and roll that damage. Yes,
Rob,
with the
say
luck
one, say one,
point.
say one. Oh,
Okay,
God,
you
hold
could
on.
do 1 damage here.
No, not for damage.
You said say 1. It happened now. Here we go.
Hold on. Let me live it up. But it's of course, Fantasy Ground is being slow slightly. Thanks. Ooh. You know what? I'll
I
take
see
the
we
2.
got
Okay.
a pretty significant donation here, so we're gonna
Oh,
deal with that in
oh.
a sec. Were there any particular rewards other than that action point associated with that donation? So it sounds like the comment was "get him." Okay. So
that
so
sounds,
our
that sounds
producer
mean to
informs
me.
us that there has been a significant donation, and thank you very much. It looks like $70. Ernie, thank you so very, very much. And we're gonna go ahead and
Yes,
say
but who's M?
that we're going to we're gonna have the mysterious stranger show up because that
He's
seems like
back.
the best kind of get 'em way of going. So
don't-
once again, a guitar sting plays, and once again, a mysterious man holding to his hat this time steps out from behind a tree behind the raiders and is going to take a shot at one of them.
There's just a strap underneath his hat.
Okay, here we go.
Oh.
He will hit
Oh.
Raider 1.
Oh.
His curse is broken.
Yeah, he's hit a complication on every single one so
Yeah.
far.
And
Ooh.
absolutely, so left arm. So
Oh
he
my
shoots
God.
Raider 1 right in the shoulder. And you know how sometimes people are like, no, shoulder shots are like a non-lethal thing. Not when it's done with a 44 Magnum. So it hits in the shoulder and just explodes the entire arm. And the Raider's arm falls to the floor, followed by a very surprised-looking Raider 1 who hits the ground and begins dying immediately.
He gone.
Celine just looks at him. See? You suck at your job, man. I'd be embarrassed for your parents.
Trevor, you have the presence of mind to know that your lungs are filling up with blood, and you are not looking in a very good way. What do you do?
I'm only wounded, right? I don't have any injuries right now.
You do have a critical torso injury. If you
Okay.
don't fix it by the end of this turn, you will heal some, or you will get some residual damage from that injury.
I'm gonna reach into my pocket and slam myself with a stim pack.
Oh man, I'm imagining like the scene in Pulp Fiction where you have to like jab yourself in the chest with it.
Does that look right? I don't know, man.
So yes, that will at least turn the injury to treated.
And I'm going to use, what is it, 2 action points to do
2
another
action
major
points
action?
to get another major action, yes.
Oops. Did I use one on accident already?
It looks like you
Yeah.
did.
You mind?
So if you just spend one for a minor, then I'll count it, okay?
Okay. 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 So
By the way, apropos of nothing, I'm rolling a quick thing. Don't worry about it.
it says
Okay.
that never means anything.
Go on.
All right. So Trevor looking down at his stomach and after slamming himself with the stim pack, he's gonna look at the closest raider. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Gonna go with Raider 3.
Okay.
Actually, Raider 2, and I'm going to attempt to shoot him in his kneecap.
All right.
Not aimed, just
Systematically.
Hey, you managed to hit. You get an action point in the process.
And I'm going to shoot her.
Right in the arm cap.
Wounded.
Nice. So again, left arm for 3 points of damage. So Raider 2, again, the armor kind of partially deflects the blow, but like flies back for a second. Anything else, Trevor Timms?
No, that is the end of my go.
Oh, hold on. Nope.
Oh.
Nope. I am undoing those damage because I forgot to take away the effect on you. Boom. You are no longer critically bleeding. Okay, Dr. Mimsy, it's your turn.
I will just briefly look at Trevor and say, would you like more medical attention or should I shoot them?
Shoot them!
Okay. I'll go ahead and shoot Raider 2 also.
Sounds good.
We're swimming in
You are
action
swimming in
points.
action
I'm
points.
gonna use one of those. for
Swimming.
sure.
And by the way, while you're doing this, maybe take a look at the perks because right after this combat is over, you're all going to get to choose a bonus perk.
Ooh.
So
nice.
not during the combat, but if it's
No,
not your turn, it might be
obviously.
a good idea to take a glance through and see what you might
That way
want.
lies madness.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, a hit, but
Oh.
also a complication.
I'm gonna
Honestly,
spend a luck.
Mimsy
Go
is just
for
an Mimsy is just a mobile attack
Yeah.
laser at this point.
I want to spend a luck because I don't like complications with my laser arm.
sounds good to me.
I don't like my arm being complicated.
No, that's my favorite
Why you
arm.
gotta go to make the arm so complicated.
Oh.
Wow,
That's fine. Absolutely fine.
it's not a 20.
Perfectly not. Yes, perfectly not a 20.
Okay, so you do manage to
so-
hit. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Back to shooting. We'll do the same thing again. Use 2 ammo.
Okay, make sure you're tracking that.
1, 2. Yep.
Damn.
Oh!
Damn. So that was the right leg. I would love for you to describe what it looks like because you managed to take out this raider at the right leg.
She's just an attack laser. She's just a mobile attack
So
laser.
yeah, she's just like So she noticed that Trevor seemed to be vaguely aiming for the kneecap before, but then hit the elbow instead of that guy, and so she's like, no, Trevor, like this, and then just like shoots 3 times in a little triangle, and just the kneecap is just annihilated in a little puff of bone and blood, and then
Oof.
there's a stump, and it's
a laser, so it's not even like a crack, right? Like it's just the guy just suddenly doesn't have a joint there anymore.
He gone.
Just
gone. Do you have
gone.
anything else, or am I moving on to the next turn?
No, we'll let Raider 3 have a go.
No, we'll let Raider 3
It's only sporting.
I'm gonna roll a quick check for Raider 3 because you know how Raiders are. A lot of the time they don't really have a whole lot in the way of self-preservation. So I'm going to give him a chance to have some self-preservation. He's looking for a 10 or less on either of these D20s.
Oh.
Absolutely not. He pulls out an inhaler and takes a hit at Jet.
That's the spirit.
Which is going to give him a pile of action points.
Wow.
He's going to run forward with his tire iron, and he's going to attack Celine.
Oh, God.
So he's suddenly the new Raider Psycho, yeah?
Here's Mimsy doing these huge damage numbers, and they're like, "No, let's attack the other ones."
No, attack the people. Yes.
We'll hide behind the people while we attack them.
Well, he wants to go where the people are. He wants to see them screaming.
Yeah.
So he manages two successes. I'm gonna spend 3 action points on damage for this.
Oof.
Oh.
So partially resisted though, so not enough to do a serious damage. So raises his tire iron up over his head, and he tries to bring it down on you, and you manage to like get your arm up so he doesn't hit you in the head, and you can feel like the armor on your arm slightly deflect the blow, and it almost breaks your arm, but doesn't quite do it. Celine, it's your turn.
Mimsy, I might have to see you after for this.
Okay.
Hopefully it's not like last time, but we'll see what happens. Okay, let's try with the machete again.
Yep.
Okay, I will take that. I will take that immensely. Hold on.
Now, because this is melee, you can spend 1 to 3 action points to deal extra damage if you wish.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm doing that. Hold on. Is it going to want to do the thingy? Why? Okay. I have no idea why it's being picky now, and why Fantasy Grounds is just okay. There we go.
In fact, it looks like we had a fairly significant donation for action points.
Hold on. Let me. Okay, let's do that, and then. Oh!
Damn. So hold on. It looks like it hit the right arm with 6 successes. I'm gonna say that you slash down, and you are able to almost sever. In fact, with 6 damage, I'm gonna say you sever the arm completely.
Yes.
I'm gonna say like you managed to deflect the tire iron with your arm. You raise your machete and you bring it down right on. Let's see. It says right arm. So the arm that was carrying the tire iron is still clutching the tire iron, but now that arm is on the floor.
Well, this is unfortunate for you now, isn't it?
Trevor, it's your turn.
Oh, he's still up?
He is still up. No, he has not died yet. He is full of jet. He might not have even felt that.
All right. I am going to...
Wait. Go for the other arm. Let's have a Monty Python situation here.
Tis but a scratch.
But he didn't...
he
didn't actually take any damage from that. Like,
thanks for being here, Phobos. Good to see you.
No,
I added it. Oh wait. Oh. Yeah, no, I have now added it. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm going to, seeing that he has no arm, try and put this man out of his misery, or
Go ahead and take
get
that
my
attack.
rocks off. One of those two.
Ooh.
Ooh.
A double crit for 3 action points. You can only get up to 7.
Oh
All
my
right.
goodness.
And then I'm gonna shoot him with my, and I'm gonna do some damage.
Yeah.
And
Why
that's
don't you
fine.
go ahead? So this is the other arm. You do hit him in the other arm. Why don't you go ahead and describe to me what this looks
Oh.
like as he dies?
So
Blackie.
seeing him lose one arm and still holding the tire iron, in my head, symmetry is important. So I am going to take out his other arm to maintain an aesthetically pleasing image of him. So I want him to be symmetrical in all his things.
As he drops, now I've been rolling perception checks for the Mirelurks, and so far they did not notice up until this point. So I'm going to say that from behind you, you are going to begin to hear that again, but it is significantly far away that you can get away from these folks before the Mirelurks come and eat the bodies.
I think there's some Mirelurks coming. I think it's time to get out of here.
Yeah, no, let's bail. Mimsy, come on. She just
If you don't want to
grabs
be
one of
fixed first. Okay.
she just grabs one of Mimsy's arms and just starts dragging her.
We'll get out of here first, and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I'm
Mimsy,
gonna, as I'm walking by the Raider Psycho leader,
They
I'm
might
gonna
have-
take his machete.
Excellent.
might
He
have
has
had
a
more
serrated
chems on
machete, which
them.
I will add to your inventory. If I can find it. Well, I'm sure I'll figure it out. Okay, so I think it just adds the vicious modifier, which means that anytime you get an effect, it does an extra point of damage.
Okay.
So, with that done, we've got everyone is wounded a little bit, either from last time or from right now. And it's going to be another couple of hours before you make your way up to the east-west road, which is going to lead you where you need to go. At this time, you start to get a little bit hungry. You start to get a little bit thirsty. So if you would be so kind as to pick a food item and a drink item and erase them off of your inventory. And after that, before we go on our break, I would like to know what perk are you going to pick up, because we did hit $400 out of our $500 goal. So by the way, thank you to the folks that donated. Absolutely spectacular. I love you all. And do we know what perks we want to take, or do we want to wait until we get back from the break before we reveal that?
I'm gonna wait till I come back because I don't know yet.
Okay.
I mean, I know, but I'm good.
Let's go ahead and take 10 minutes. It is currently, by the time I'm done saying this, it is going to be 6:32 p.m. Pacific. We will come back at 6:42 p.m. Pacific, and we will complete this adventure. So thank you all for being here so far. Please do stick around. Please do donate if you have the means and the inclination, and we will see you in 10 minutes.